President-elect Trump ringing the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange as Wall Street leaders grow increasingly optimistic about his second administration. And we are back now with the panel. So guys, a year ago, Trump was politically dead, and now he is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. He posted on Truth Social how it started, how it's going, with a photo of his 2023 mugshot there on the left. His inauguration is obviously poised to become a global event, even though Xi Jinping is not coming. The Chinese are sending a delegation to attend. What does this reflect, Mark?
So it's the greatest political comeback in American history. The last president to lose the White House and then win it back 4 years later was Grover Cleveland in 1892, and he didn't have to overcome the Mueller probe, the 2 impeachments, and 91 charges at the federal, state, and local level. This is a comeback for the ages, and what's happening now is Trump is getting something that he didn't get the first time around, which is a political honeymoon. Because in 2016, everybody thought he was a fluke. He didn't win the popular vote. Hillary was unpopular, and so they immediately went to attack him, to say he was an accidental president, not my president. The resistance started. They launched all these attacks, and it's utterly failed. He won the popular vote. He won the electoral college. He's got complete unified control of government. He's now got a chance to have the honeymoon and a chance to push his agenda that normal presidents get.
Companies are really pouring money into Trump's inaugural fund. You've got Amazon, Mark Zuckerberg's Meta, OpenAI's Sam Altman, all donating $1 million each. An opinion column from The Hill says Silicon Valley CEOs have been falling all over themselves to herald his win and positioning their companies to garner business from his administration. Zuckerberg didn't even congratulate Biden in 2020. So why is he scrambling to go to Mar-a-Lago in 24?
Well, I think a lot of these CEOs are looking at someone like Elon Musk, who has literally turned into Trump's right-hand man in many ways. Elon Musk is on calls with foreign leaders. You have Trump attending the launch of SpaceX. You have Trump slowly somewhat warming to the idea of X, even though he has Truth Social. They say they see the influence that Elon Musk is having, and I think a lot of these CEOs say, I sort of want to have a slice of that as well.
Well, meantime, as Trump is getting this honeymoon, Democrats are distancing themselves from Biden. The party really has no heir apparent after he leaves office. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro sounded off on Biden commuting a sentence of a former Luzerne County judge who was embroiled in this Kids for Cash scandal, accepted kickbacks for wrongly imprisoning kids in a for-profit prison. Here's what Shapiro said.
I do feel strongly that President Biden got it absolutely wrong and created a lot of pain here in northeastern Pennsylvania. This was not only a black eye on the community, the Kids for Cash scandal, but it also affected families in really deep and profound and sad ways.
Josh, what do you make of Biden's decision here? You know, he's a son of Scranton. Why would he upset his legacy in his hometown with this pardon?
Yeah, I mean, this is quite a way to go out. It feels like the end month theme of the Biden administration is commutations or pardons for pretty corrupt individuals. Started out with Hunter Biden. The Fox News poll that came out this past week showed about 2/3 of Americans disapprove of that decision. And now he's choosing to pardon or commute the sentences of some of the most corrupt politicians or judges in the country. There was an Illinois comptroller who embezzled over $50 million who got her sentence commuted. The Pennsylvania judge we just saw, the Governor Shapiro, thought this was unconscionable, that someone who sent juveniles to jail as part of a pay-for-play scheme. I don't know what Biden is doing. I don't think he's getting the best political advice, and it's certainly going to harm his legacy going forward.
Yeah, on that point, you know, Anita Dunn, who is one of the president's closest advisors, publicly spoke out against his decision to pardon his son. She said, the argument is one I think many observers are concerned about. A president who ran to restore the rule of law, who's upheld the rule of law, who's really defended the rule of law, kind of saying, well, maybe not right now. You know, it's one thing for Shapiro, who might be positioning himself to run in 28, to speak out against Biden, but Anita Dunn is not running for any public office. So why is she, Megan, speaking out against her former boss?
I mean, I think that there is a lot of inside baseball here with the lawyers and her husband, Bob. But I do think that what she also said was the timing wasn't right. And I don't think she was criticizing the president. I think she was criticizing the timing of this. And I think that a lot of Democrats feel that way. Why did you do this first? Why was this not the very last thing you did in office if you were going to pardon your son? I don't think that anyone can fault the president for pardoning his son. He's already lost 2 children, and you know, keeping Hunter out of jail or keeping Hunter's legal problems, you know, to a stop where he is. I think no one can fault him for that. I don't think people actually really do care if he pardons his former addicted son who had these crimes when he was an addict. But I don't think Anita was criticizing the president's decision. She was criticizing the timing.
You can fault him for lying about it. He
But I
said he
think
told
that-
the American people that he wasn't going to do it repeatedly and did it. And also the other thing he did is he validated Donald Trump's critique of the Justice Department because he said, this is the quote, "Hunter was singled out because he's my son. Raw politics has infected this process and led to a miscarriage of justice." That's exactly what Donald Trump says. He's saying that about his own Justice Department, about Merrick Garland has allowed raw politics to infect the justice process. Donald Trump will say, I agree, let's
30
clean it
seconds
up.
left. Go ahead and
So
respond.
two things can be true here. And also, I also think that when the president was saying he wasn't going to pardon his son, he was running for president. The circumstances were different. I actually don't think the president was lying when he said that. I don't think he had an intention to. I think the circumstances changed. He saw some of the people that were being nominated, like Kash Patel, like, before it was Matt Gaetz, before Bondi. But I do think that he was afraid that these people were going to continue to come for his son. And I think he saw that he could put a stop to it and did that. So I don't necessarily think he was lying at the time he said those.
I guess we will see the fallout and whether any Democrats sort of take a step back from giving the president a bear hug as he exits his term. Thanks, panel. We will see you next Sunday.